Hi, everybody. Welcome in. Thanks for coming in. It's Monday. Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. Happy Easter for those who celebrate, as they say. And welcome to the show. Good to have you. I saw a bunch of comments coming in already. I appreciate it. Hey, CJ. Good morning. I wish good evening. How are you? There she is, Queen of Canada. All hail. How you doing, Dawn? Hope you're feeling okay. Florida man Jim is here. Welcome, Jim. Hi, Thomas. How are you? From the Green Mountains. Very cool. Vintage Memories. Peoples, how are you? Welcome to the show. Basically, everybody's saying hi to each other, which is completely acceptable. Hey, Vintage Kaja, how are you? Yes, I hope you did too. Jackie Jack, what's going on, man? Welcome to the show. Hello, Joe. How are you? Craven Cards, welcome aboard. Excellent. Yeah, that's cool. Hey, Leland, how are you? Entrepreneurs, my favorite. Puddings, man of the hour. Let me just tell you, welcome to the show, Puddings. Puddings and Fuego. What's up, Michelle? How are you? Good to see you. It's been a while. Had a nap, all as well. Okay, that's all we need. Dawn is refreshed and ready to roll. Hi, Karen. Good evening to you. Welcome to the show. And hello, Joanne. Welcome to the show. Just a quick flurry of hellos. Anyway, yeah, hope you had a great Easter. Hope you had a great weekend, regardless, Easter or not. We had a very nice weekend, family kind of stuff. Kids, one of my kids came over on Friday. Had a nice time. So I apologize again for missing a show Friday. Wasn't usually my MO, but unfortunately it's been happening more frequently than I wanted. It shouldn't happen anymore. I mean, Easter's done. What else could possibly get in the way of our shows, right? From what I'm going to do is, as the Beatles shows mount up, and they are going to for sure now that spring has sprung, and definitely when summertime comes, I'll just do shows on other nights than my scheduled if we have a concert that night. But other than that, we're going to try very diligently to stick to the schedule. Hope everybody's doing well sales-wise. I'm curious to see what everybody thinks about the effects of a holiday weekend on their sales, a springtime holiday weekend. You know, usually when we say holiday, it's, fall and winter time and fourth quarter and all that. And usually some fantastic sales go along with that time of year. This time of year, I guess, typically is where you see a little bit of a decline in those numbers and back to reality kind of stuff. But I thought I was going to have a miserable weekend. I did have a miserable Saturday, I think. But Easter, we had some sales on Easter. Today was very good, relatively good. So I'm happy about it. I was selling a lot of postcards, selling print ads. That's my two things. I also sold a tape recorder that I picked up. A realistic tape recorder they picked up in an estate sale about 2 years ago. It was 2 years ago in the springtime. Finally sold with 4 brand new cassettes, like cassette tapes. So that went for, I don't know, $29.99 or something like that. Great to see those hard goods get out of my life. Very, very happy for that. But the paper's been selling. Jackie Jack's ready. Cool. Famous last words. Video is jittery. Really? It fixed itself. Miserable weekend. Just now doing your taxes. Well, yeah, that's a whole other conversation. Hey, happy birthday, Joe. Happy belated to you. You rebounded well today. Very cool. I had a great morning, like a shockingly good morning. I was telling some people I had like 10 sales by 7:45 in the morning, and they weren't overnight. They were like, there was one at like 4 in the morning, and there was just a flurry from 7 to 8 a.m. or something. I had like 9 sales, and then of course it stopped all day, and then I had like 2 more later on. So I'll take it, but it's feast or famine. You sold an Easter egg, a goose egg. Sorry to hear, man. I figured it would stink. Sales have been okay, not great, not terrible. Yeah, I could definitely understand that. I was pleasantly surprised. I did have a public coupon that I had run from the 2nd to the 9th, I think. It just expired yesterday. I had a nice little run with the coupon, the public coupon. It was 20% off of postcards and print ads is what the categories I had them assigned to. And I let it expire yesterday. Didn't rerun it until just about an hour ago. I did a new one for like another week or so because they did pretty well. The coupon thing does well. So I started a new one. We'll see what happens. A rush. Yeah, exactly. That's a great word. It was a rush this morning. A very pleasant surprise for me. Rough Saturday, good late Sunday. Yeah, pretty similar. Yeah, Dawn is slowly getting back into the swing of things with her injured ankle. I'm hearing good things. I'm hearing she's on the mend. I'm hearing we only got a few more days. You can tell everybody, Dawn, I want to tell you a story or steal your thunder, but Dawn is going to be literally back on her feet shortly. What's up, Steve? Yes, Steve's been kicking butt. Great to have you, man. Welcome to the show. Yes, Steve is doing great. So is Puddings, Mr. Puddings. Like putting everybody to shame. Doing really well. High-end items, and they're selling, good money items. So the coupon thing, I just had like 2 or 3 things I wanted to mention off the bat. One was the sales burst this morning, which has, of course, subsided now, but that's okay. I'll take the day. Anything else is gravy at this point. It's 7 o'clock. The coupon thing was number 2. And there was I saw something in my listings, and I want to pull one up to see if anybody else has noticed this. Of course, I won't be able to find one now, but let me see. There was like an extra field when I looked in my listing that I had never seen before regarding shipping. Long story short, I had a message this morning from a very friendly gentleman in Germany. He said, "Hello from Germany. I'm Klaus." I think his name was Klaus, something like that. Not too stereotypical. Klaus from Germany, Guten Tag, Klaus. And then, broken English, he basically asked if we could do anything about the shipping to Germany. It's expensive, whatever. And then I looked into my postcards specifically because he was asking about a postcard that was like $10. And I noticed on my listing it says "does not ship to Germany," like in big red letters. Has anybody else seen that? Like I changed, Germany. What was the other country? France. There was 2 countries I added to the "do not ship to" because of the stuff that was going on last year. But I had never seen that on a listing before, where in big white letters it said, if you just scroll down on your listing, shipping, blah, 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 it said, "does not ship to Germany." And I'd never seen that before. I'm curious if anybody else had seen that. I'm trying to find an example now to show everybody because it popped up when he put through his message. It wasn't an offer. It was just a message on an item. And now, of course, I'm scrolling through my recent postcard listings and I don't see it, but I did see it on his. I wonder if maybe that was just something he saw on his German eBay site. Anyway, if anybody has seen that or knows about that, I'd appreciate a little conversation around that. Yes, Puddings is doing amazing. What's up, Ryan? How are you? 3 days till the cast comes off. Woohoo! But who's counting? That's awesome. Ryan. Yes, Puddings is on fire. Steve dreads the algorithm catches up to you. I know. I said this morning, I'm like, the faucet went on this morning. They might have just left it. They forgot to shut it again last night. It was probably an accident. But, while the gravy's flowing, I'll take it. You'll be in an air boot. What a boot, da boot. Yeah, that'll be really cool to be mobile again, right? Pretty average for Ryan. What's up, Mark? How you doing? Mark from SM Postcards is here. Yeah, I think it's a good thing, too. I just never noticed it before. You need to be registered with Germany. Yes, exactly. Yep. I don't know is it blocking it or is it just notating on the listing? Again, the screenshot he gave me, and it wasn't a screenshot. It was a message, and he, commented on a specific postcard. And when I pulled up the postcard, I saw the red banner under shipping, "does not ship to Germany." Oh, really? Okay. You had a guy in Ukraine asking about one of your listings. Ship to address, but he gets charged international. Yeah, it's always kind of messed up. Douglas Edmonds, how are you? Optimize for the buyer, not the machine. Wonder what would happen. Yeah. Yeah, I just know there was that thing with Germany. You have to pay extra or something. So anyway, I just never seen that before, and I should have done this before the show. I thought maybe it was on all my listings now, but as I scan, I don't see any. Probably because, let me go back out. If anybody sees that, let me know, please. Like I even went in and I put Germany as the country. Let's see if this changes it. Select. And it just says free standard shipping. I don't see that banner anymore. No, that's not cool. What a wonderful segue there, Mr. Puddings. Yes, it's always a good thing to do. Most importantly, because I hope you enjoy being on the show as much as I enjoy having you. And then secondly, you might get a sale. eBay's new effort for international shipping will cover Germany hiccup for this. That's a great question. Don't know. I just wish I could show everybody in case you guys haven't seen it. But again, all of a sudden, I don't see anything on any of them. Let me pick something. You know why? I probably have, in fact, I know I have like the first like several hundred listings are all postcards. Let me try a non-postcard and see if it changes anything. I don't know why it would. Why do I have a Victoria's Secret bracelet for sale still since the year of the flood? $24.99. I really need to blow out all this nonsensical stuff, hard goods. Give it to somebody who wants it. Anybody want some hard goods? We'll go on whatnot. We'll get rid of all the stuff that's not paper. Blow it out, as they say. We got teacups. We got books. We got albums by the hundreds, thousands. Oh, well, I don't see that anymore. But anyway, if anybody sees that, I'd be interested to know. There we go. So maybe looking for a listing from the. That's exactly, Dawn. That's what I was saying, maybe. But he didn't give me. I misspoke. He didn't send me a screenshot. He sent a message, and on the message it related to one of my listings. So I clicked on my listing, and it was my listing. It wasn't the German like .de or whatever. It was eBay. And just that big red banner does not ship to Germany. Like it really stuck out, Gulf Coast Pickers, what is going on, man? Welcome to the show. Great to have you. Shout out to SM Postcards. We're having setting issues on your app, Epson 400. Oh, cool. Very good. Yeah, Mark dabbled in IT for a couple of years, I heard. I'm sure it's child's play to fix a printer for him. Don't even say that a buyer's international account, he will get charged. Had a sale of CDs to a lady in Mexico, shipped to Texas. Yeah, it's always a mess. It's a shame. Not to get into any sort of geopolitical conversation whatsoever, but the way the countries do this to each other is just it's out of control. These charges that they want to put on everything. A lousy postcard, come on. Yeah, Mark is good people. Go check out Mark SM Postcards on YouTube. Releasing a flurry of videos recently, I must say. Always great content. I really wish, I thought I'd be able to find this and show everybody. Why didn't I do a screen? Oh, you know what I'll do? Let me go back to my messages. How stupid is this? Hold on. Let's see if it comes up when I pull up the item on the message. I didn't delete the message. That's so weird. Now it doesn't say anything. Maybe if I change, it says see details. Let's change to a different country. Like, let's see if Germany even comes up on my choices. It does come up on my choices. Get rates to Germany. Nope. Still no red banner. That's really strange. I must be doing something wrong. Oh, well. Anyway, if anybody sees that, don't be alarmed. What's up, man? Hope you had a great weekend. Hello, Popeye is here. Welcome, Popeye. Popeye's Postcards. Somebody's sending me a message. Hang on one second, everybody. Oh, I had something funny to show everybody. Welcome, John. How you doing? Hope you had a great weekend. Hope you had a happy Easter. welcome aboard. Thanks for coming in. Vintage Memories is happy. First quarter this year is 19.5. Good. Average sales price is up 29. That's really cool. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of people. I know Mark is certainly doing it. A lot of consolidation, getting everything. You always hear don't put all your eggs in one basket, but a really, really funny pun right after Easter, too. But I'm kind of the same way. I dabbled in Macari, actually. Did I ever do Macari? I think I did Macari for like a week. Poshmark for a week. I have a very, very small Etsy presence. I have somewhat of a Discogs presence, but yeah, it's basically consolidating to virtually 100% eBay. And I'm happy with that. Yes, John always ships promptly. Thanks to everybody who checked out the video yesterday. I did one of those what sold videos, and it was directly tied to print ads. Because obviously that's what I kind of started doing on this channel, was talking about print ads. And also I wanted to show everybody the cool print ads that have been selling for very good money. Don't be fooled by, you see a lot of people out there selling print ads for $5 or something. You don't have to do that. You definitely don't have to do that. Just check out that video if you haven't checked it out, and you'll see, every one of them was 16, 17 plus per ad. Thank you, Vintage Cadre. I appreciate it. Excuse me. I want to show everybody this. Check this out. A viewer sent me this on an email the other day, and he said I could put it up. I won't reveal who the viewer is, only because he didn't say I could say who it was. But I thought this was kind of funny. Let me see if I could find it, everybody. Yes, here we go. We talk about cutting up print ads and whatnot, right? Let me get rid of this comment. Let me get rid of some banners so we could see this well. Okay. I thought this was kind of cool. This is a print ad from Life magazine from 1948. Does everybody see what she's doing? She's cutting out magazine ads. Isn't that funny? An ad of somebody cutting out a magazine ad. I thought that was kind of cool. It's just an advertisement for beer, the beer industry of America. There's a title on that. It says "Planning the Newlyweds House." So I guess the girl there is probably cutting out coupons or something. But I thought that was kind of cool. Pile of magazines, scissor. There you go. Nice looking ad. So thank you very much. If you're watching, and if you want to chime in and say who you are, feel free to. I thought that was kind of cool. The irony, right, of selling an ad of a person cutting out an ad. Small world. Popeye is 80% whatnot. Listening as we speak. Very good. Very good. Thank you very much, Lee. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was just to kind of show everybody that, I didn't want anybody to think that I've given up or lost interest in the print ad thing. Nothing could be further from the truth. I've just been very focused on getting as many postcards from this big haul I got listed. Yeah, it was not. I thought it was a cool ad. Yep. That's right. It's not a new thing at all. My hat does not match my shirt. My shirt is a Beatle shirt with a Union Jack, and it's just a New York Mets baseball cap. Two things I love in life right there. Beatles and Met baseball. Popeye, a huge fan of the Pittsburgh Penguins, who I've heard are not having a great season. I don't really follow hockey much at all. But there's a sports radio station locally, and for some reason the Penguins came up, and I heard they weren't doing very well this year. I guess the year's almost over with hockey. You would think in the middle of April almost that why they're still playing hockey in April, I couldn't tell you. But hi, Sandy. Right, and more importantly, why does it have to match? For a quick second, you thought you were wearing a Ranger shirt. No Rangers. Not a hockey guy. No offense. Just never really found much interest in it. Oh my goodness, the Easter cookies. What a week it was, everybody. We did 200 cookies for free, believe it or not. Gave away 200 cookies to some needy individuals with a little card and everything. My wife's an angel with that. She really is. So I did all the baking and all that for the cookies, but she did the decorating. It took days and days, or nights and nights, I should say. And we gave them all out on Saturday morning, I think, was the trip. And then she had 2 or 3 regular cookie orders that were all due Saturday evening, so they could be ready for Easter yesterday. So it's been a lot of baking, a lot of baking. In fact, Miss Slippet will be down probably within an hour or so to do yet another order that I baked today. But it was child's play. It was like 20 cookies, much less than we've been doing. Nope, no way. That's why that was an intentional, very intentional video to just devote an entire segment to print ads once again, to let everybody know that I'm still, I'm the captain of Team Print Ad. Trust me. Huge fan. Just trying to get the cards up as quickly as I can. I know, isn't it crazy? What's up, Nick? How you doing? All the seasons go so far beyond what their traditional season is. It's the same with basketball. They play until the summer. Basketball has like a 2-month off season and they're back again. It's crazy. Same thing with hockey. It's off for like 2-3 months and it's back. You see blue, black, and red? Maybe you should get your eyes checked. Oh, just kidding. They still have a chance? Cool. Choose your poison there. I'm thinking you hate both of those teams, I would imagine. Do both, then you won't be abandoned. Go Sports. One thing I haven't done, because I've been focused so intently on the postcard haul and scanning and listing and organizing and all the stuff I've been talking about for a couple of weeks now, I haven't even scanned any print ads in like probably over 2 weeks at this point. So I need to do that. And then once I have some scanned, we could get into some more listing on the shows. If anybody's interested in doing that again, I liked doing that. But I'm in like speed listing zone, especially with postcards. So to go to print ads and talk about them for 10 minutes per ad would probably it would take some effort for me, because I'm so used to just trying to like plow through as many as I can and get them up and get numbers going. Because somebody once said, if you list, you sell. And I still think that's a brilliant statement. Although I haven't sold anything since early afternoon. After the faucet was flowing this morning, rapidly early this morning, took a break for a couple hours, came back around noon to 1 o'clock, and now it's been off for the last 6 hours. So I'm hoping for some nighttime activity, especially from the West Coast. People usually start to chime in later here, and sometimes overnight as well. But got a lot of postcards up. I've been, the way we organized the cards, I'm going through tons of World's Fair. I'm still in the 1939 New York World's Fair. I think I have, well, it's a whole tub with just that one, and then there's another tub with the 64. So you figure that's 700-ish per tub, so like 1,400 of those cards. And it's kind of cool when you look on a blank, I have like a browser that I use covertly, sort of, if I just want to go in and do a fresh search on eBay, not logged in, no cookies or anything like that. And I like to check to see where, if my stuff comes up. It's a great way to do it, just to get like a browser you never use for anything else. Well, anyway, I was doing that, and if I type 1939 World's Fair postcard, I'm like all over, because I've just been, slamming these listings every day. It's kind of cool. So it gives you a puncher's shot, to get some sales. And I've been lucky enough. I had this 2 or 3 buyers that keep buying multiples of the World's Fair stuff. It's exciting. Like last night I listed, because it was Easter, we were at my in-laws' house, and we got home, not that late, 7 o'clock. It was pretty early, actually. Did some stuff, cleaned up, put some stuff away, and I sat down. I'm like, man, I didn't get any listings done today. I got to do some listings. And I think I listed like 20 cards, and 6 of them sold like instantly, which was because they were all World's Fair. So as somebody talked about in another place, it's good to have people following your items, or, have a search, an ongoing search. I would imagine certain people must have 1939 World's Fair postcard searches in place. So like when stuff keeps coming up, bam, they're buying them. Love that. Love the return buyers. I love that feature where it shows you return buyer, like even if you get an offer now. What's up, Purple Sorko? How are you? Welcome to the show. Purple Sorko also doing well, so I've heard. No, we still haven't gotten a final count, Popeye. I know it probably bucks trends here, but uh, we said, again, there is a video. I promise you, I've recorded 2/3 of what I want to put out for that first video anyway. Kind of as we were going through them, we piled them. We piled, like, all the World's Fair cards were a pile. Any Continentals, and there are thousands of Continentals, are in a separate thing that we dealt with last. Greeting card stuff, Christmas cards, which is probably going to be my next thing after the World's Fair cards. I'll probably list the Christmas cards. So anyway, we're putting them into piles and stuff, and then right now I'm just like scanning them and putting them in my boxes. So I'm not like going to just sit down and lay everything out and get a count. As I put them into the boxes, I'm saying 650, 700 per box. So I'm putting a title, like if my box is, it's called BH, Big Haul A. Under BHA, like I know for a fact we have 725 cards, so I write 725 under that. And I'm just going to, when I get all them boxed, I'll just do a quick count and say 725, 700, 700, and so on. And then that'll be when the final number comes. I don't know. It was billed as 40,000. What's up, Kelly? Impatiently waiting. Yeah, it's going to be, I'm not going to have a final number until I get them all scanned. My Monopoly. There you go. Yeah, that's all coming in a video. Kelly needs to know. You opened a box 2 weeks ago that had several postcard albums from a great uncle. Oh, very cool. Yeah. Yeah, I got to 39,999. What? Where was I? Let me start again. No. Just that's my methodology right now. Like I said, we're putting them into the boxes of 700-ish. And when they're all in the boxes of 700-ish, I'll just count how many boxes I have times 700. And then everybody will get a big announcement. Should be about 40,000, right? Hopefully. A lighthouse postcard? Yeah, repeated buys. I've had this. I've been lucky enough to have quite a few people that do that with the print ad thing. But up until very recently, I've never had anybody, at least that I know of, that was following me or following a search for a certain type of postcard. But without question, I mean, the last 4 or 5 days, one guy's bought like 20 of them already, 20 something of postcards, of World's Fair postcards. Almost, and I know for a fact he's got to be doing a either following me personally or doing just a search, a saved search for that topic. Because like I said, last night I came in 6 sold after I listed 20 of them, like 20 minutes later. It's crazy. Are there very many private mailing cards? I think it's the least, the smallest quantity. I don't know for sure, Sandy, what the ratio is, but I think it's because it was such a small, what was it, 2-3 years? John, Mark, Kelly. I think it was like only 2 or 3 years that they were in existence. So there's probably a much smaller quantity of those. All right, go enjoy, Dawn. Go hobble over. What's up, Gary? How are you? You could sit there and tell us about it and not say a range that you paid. You know, it's around 40,000. You cannot sit here. Yes, I can do anything I want, but and say the range that you paid. No, it's around 40,000. Whether the number is 30 or 40. Oh yeah, I know. Sorry, I don't mean to be killing you, man. I just want to save it for a video. That's all. I told a couple of people. Popeye definitely knows. So if you pay Popeye the right amount, maybe he'll squeal. Yeah, you're welcome. Mark gave me a handy dandy guide, which is pretty common knowledge for most people, but I thought this was really nice. So again, thank you to Mark at SM Postcard. Sorry about the glare. There's your errors and type of cards right there. So you see the private mailing card was only, what, 3 years? So I would imagine it's going to be a small population of cards out there. Pioneer I haven't come across at all. But just in case anybody's interested, I really appreciated that. Mark sent me that. And I refer to it. But just to satiate Kelly and his omnipresent curiosity, under a quarter a card. Under a quarter a card. So do the math. It could be 2 cents a card. It could be 24 cents a card, but it's under a quarter if the 40,000 number is accurate, which I'm going to use until proven incorrect. You're right. It could be 30. It could be 50. It could be 41. It could be, I don't know. I won't know until I get them all put in. What's up, Cameron? How are you? Great to have you, man. Welcome to the show. Yeah, Popeye, there we go. 1898 to 1905-ish. Okay. Yes. Either he's holding out for $1 million for the information, or he's saying I paid $1 million. I'm not sure. Oh, I think he would say it was appropriate. Under a quarter, Kelly. Seriously. That's right. Popeye holds many secrets, I'm sure. What's up, Connie? How are you? Welcome to the show. Great to have you. Speaking of postcards, do the math. There you go. Google it. What's up, Carl? How you doing? Lisa Smith, how are you? Welcome to the show. Appropriate. Thank you. Popeye deems my purchase appropriate. Steve bought 2,800 cards this weekend. 10 cents. Beautiful. Yeah, I'll tell you, I know I mentioned this. I haven't come across, unless we just haven't seen them yet, not one Halloween card in this haul. Lots of Christmas, lots of Easter, lots of Valentine's, no Halloween cards. I haven't come across one of them. I know that's the hot item. Steve is on a buying frenzy and a selling frenzy, which is the best comment. What's up, Matt? How are you? Jackass Retro coming in to say hi. Hope you're doing well, man. And Carl in Canada, number 2, as the Queen calls him. She's out eating right now. So you are now number 1 again. You're the number 1 male Canadian in the program, Carl. Matt has not bought or listed a postcard over amount. Really? Are you focusing? Are you intentionally like going away from them and focus on something else? Great question, Sandy. If you don't mind, give a thumbs up, everybody. Try to get that sale in. Crawled out of his hole. Lursting. No problem, man. Lurst away. Number 2. But again, you can carry the flag until the Queen gets back from her dinner. Holy cow, Popeye. Just another day in Popeye land. 1,300, about 1,000, 1950 motels. Very cool. Any TV ons, Popeye? That's what I'd be looking for. TV on. There you go. Mark with the you could put the link directly to it, I would imagine, Mark, if you'd like to, right? You like being number 2, it feels appropriate. Okay, that's cool. Whatever you're used to, man. Yeah, just Popeye, just, spur of the moment. You can never have enough. There you go. If we can, if anybody wants to click on Mark's link. A few TV ons. Beautiful. Yep. That is a bolo. Postcard bolo. But yeah, Matt, I was asking, are you purposely avoiding postcards? Like, are you just taking a break from them or something, or focusing on something else specifically? I'm just getting into them, so I'm trying to load up. Because in theory, I could get, if I list these all, let's say they're about 40,000. That's 40,000 listings on top of what I have already had. I'd be pretty pumped. I'd be really pumped. It'd take a long time to get 40,000 listings up, but at least I have them to list. I'm thrilled. I haven't had that quantity before prior to this purchase. Not even close. One day, I think I had one, Michelle, as well. I think early on I had one when everybody was talking about it, and it was this big thing that people look for, which was news to me at the time. I did have one. I would be happy too, Lisa. That's fantastic work. You paid $40 for 3 Halloween cards. Guy had them listed at $22, $28, $1. Took a $40 offer. A small ship, yeah. With the incoming message, hang on. These people know that I'm busy. Okay. Keep getting messages on eBay. Show me some offers and purchases, not messages. You know what I mean? And because I don't have the, because I'm using my phone as my camera, as I always tell everybody, I don't get to hear the beeps or the cha-ching sounds while I'm doing the live shows. I just see a pop-up message on eBay, and I get all excited thinking it's an offer, and it's a message. I did sell, talking to records really quickly, I don't know, today's Monday, probably last Monday, last Tuesday, I'm going to say I got rid of 49 Bobby Vinton records, 49 Bobby Vinton albums, actually, some sealed, all estate sale pickups that have just been accumulating. And I just made a lot of them. Figured if there's some Bobby Vinton, you always, for anybody who does records, that's one of the albums you'll see at every estate sale is Bobby Vinton, Johnny Mathis. There's just certain people you'll see over and over and over. Not exactly a high sell-through rate for Bobby Vinton. He has a following though, the King of Poland. And anyway, somebody bought all 49 of them, shipped successfully, got good feedback today saying they arrived safely. Good riddance. Talk about, 49 records, for those who might not know, probably almost 2 foot high. Nice big heavy thing out the door. So thrilled about that. Yeah, they're really interesting, Michelle. I agree. It's a lot of fun taking a look at them. Hey, Vintage Vaughn, how are you? Hello there. Hand pink weaving. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Yvonne, you put a waving icon hand thing on YouTube, which I can now see as pink, but on StreamYard it says hand pink waving. So I thought you wrote that. All right, Puddings, go enjoy your dinner. Thanks for coming in. Just trying to build up the store with some higher dollar items. Gotcha. Building the war chest. Nice. That's cool. Blue Velvet was Blue Velvet, whatever my Melody of Love was a big hit. He was around since I think the early 60s. Up until, I remember that song, My Melody of Love. I'm sure they speaks in Polish, so I don't know what the chorus is. Oh la da 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 means that I love you so. Go to YouTube. My Melody of Love. Exactly. He is the Niagara Falls. So there's a few of them. Skitch. Who's the? My God, of course, now I can't think of them, but the same records. You'll see Carpenter's records all the time. You'll see Bobby Vinton, Johnny Cash, believe it or not. And there were some Johnny Cash albums that are pretty good money, but there's a lot of crappy compilation, like fake albums by Johnny Cash. Not fake, but like compilations that are virtually panels. Elvis. There's a bunch of like really lousy Elvis albums. You would think, oh, I got an Elvis album. They were cheaply made on cheap labels. But yeah, getting rid of it's Popeye's right. It's like Popeye getting rid of 10,000 Niagara Falls cards all to one buyer and just doing a jig after he did it. Same with me. I kicked those things out the door. I was thrilled. I was proud of myself. I waited a long time. They were just sitting there. They weren't going to sell individually. They might have, but it would have been like a slow, torturous death. I was like, beautiful. Just get them all out of here at once. I couldn't even tell you what we paid for them. Literally pennies. Like they were nothing. They were just, we usually buy a bunch when we go to estate sales and go looking for albums. I'll often just get like everything they have. And without fail, when you get whatever they have, there's going to be some Bobby Vinton in there. There's going to be some Johnny Mathis in there. Barbara Streisand will be in there. It's the same cast of characters every single time. But every once in a while, you get some really good hits. Andy Williams, absolutely. Walk the line. Yeah. There you go. Big Polish population. He is big. No, I'm not joking around. He's got an absolute cult following, if you will. So I'm glad I found the guy who loves Bobby Vinton. And I just got my feedback, I don't know, an hour or two ago. He wrote great collect. Let me read what it said. I was so thrilled. Because whenever you send that much, 49 records, I don't think I've ever mailed. In fact, I know I've never mailed 49 records in one package. So I wanted to make sure I'm very, very careful about the way I ship everything, but especially records, especially 78s. But when somebody buys 49 records, they obviously have a passion for whoever the artist is. I wanted to make sure they got there safely. But anyway, what did he write? He wrote, terrific collection, excellent condition, well packed. When I say 49, it was 45. A lot of 45 Bobby Vinton LP records. 60s, 70s, stereo, and mono have safely arrived. Good riddance. Thrilled to see him go. And the way I look at it now, my new through my new postcard jaded lens is just more room for postcards now. 45 records take up a lot of space. Delayed gratification, yeah. That's cool. Plus, it's just fun to switch things up once in a while, I would imagine, right? Oh, yeah? He's got to be, Bobby Vinton's got to probably be 80 years old at this point, I would imagine, right? Everybody's suddenly 80. I played in Branson many years ago when it first sort of came to be this country mecca. They tried to compete with Memphis. Andrew Sisters is something else you'll find. Andrew Sisters 78s can sell pretty well. Beautiful. That's a great flip. Oh yeah, he's definitely alive. Let's do it. I'm surprised somebody hasn't done it already. Bobby Vinton. I'm going to say at least 80, probably older than that actually. The more I think about it, because 80 is 1942 now with 3. I think he was born in the 30s. Bobby Vinton, alive and well, is 87 years old. Cannonburg, Popeye, is that anywhere out by Pennsylvania area that you grew up in? Cannonburg, Pennsylvania. The Polish Prince is his moniker. Bolt Records as craft supplies has done very well. That's pretty cool too. People that just want the covers of stuff. Yep, Vinton Streisand, exactly. Barbra Streisand's another one you're always going to find. And not that, again, Barbra Streisand, incredibly legendary performer. People love her and all, but her records just show up in every estate sale, and they just, I guess because they're so popular, that they don't have a lot of value, unfortunately. I don't know. I try to buck that. That's what I'm saying about these postcards. The reason I've been so focused on it is I don't want them just sitting here taking up, well, they're going to sit here and take up space until they sell, but I want them processed. You know what I mean? I don't want them just sitting there. Oh, I have 25,000 postcards sitting around. I'm trying to just get them listed as soon as I can. Because when you list, you sell. You've heard of it? Okay. I thought maybe it was out west, but in Popeye Land. Old Navy radio shows? Navy, no, but I've seen, in fact, speaking of the Andrews Sisters, they used to make, I don't know if it was Navy, but it was definitely military records for the boys overseas all the time, and they called them something. Maybe Popeye knows that. They were called, shoot, you just got my curiosity. Andrews Sisters. I've sold Andrews Sisters records that were those special issues for the Army. I think it was for the Army. Like they played in the Hollywood Canteen, which was like a benefit show for the boys fighting in the war. What were those records called? There were special records. I'm trying to find it. Yeah, it was a USO show. Like the Hollywood Canteen was a USO show, but the records themselves, they were like they weren't publicly issued. They were just released to the armed forces. Maybe it was just there was armed forces radio, I know. Armed forces records. There were special discs that were just made for the boys. South of Pittsburgh, around Louisiana way. No. Michelle lived in Branson. Cool. Wow, that sounds pretty cool. Was it built up as this number 2 to Nashville then? The Queen is back. Welcome back, Queen. Number 2 is back in his proper place. Just a little south. Yes, everybody pay their respects. Last in first listed policy helps to get stuff listed. There you go. LIFO without the O. Old Navy commercials. Yeah, USO shows. I think they were just called Armed Forces Records or something to that effect. But anyway, I've had a few 78s with them. Bing Crosby was huge. You know, everybody knows the people that were famous. Glenn Miller, all that kind of stuff sells pretty well. So if you get anybody's interested in music or 78s, definitely something you can get really cheaply most of the time. Same sort of thing, not on the scale of postcards as far as volume, but almost any antique mall you go to, they'll probably have 78s. A lot of, I actually ask when we go to estate sales if they have any 78s available. We usually sock them up and they just want to get rid of them. So I take them, and some of them are hit and miss. Sometimes you have to be, they're very, very fragile. And odds are if you pick up a few hundred, there might be one or two that have like chips on them, but price of doing business, you know, they wash off really easily. Don't use alcohol on them. Just a little soap and water, get the mildew off if they have any mildew. I bought thousands, well, not thousands, a few hundred plain white sleeves, new white sleeves, because they usually don't come with their original sleeves. Once in a while they do, which could add to value. But I just put them in nice clean liners, sleeves. And when they sell, they usually sell pretty good. And if you factor that, you know, I probably have like a nickel or so into them usually, it's great. If I get a $10, $15 sale on that, I'm pretty happy. Number one is here. You in the Navy. What's up, Happy Fun Times? How are you? I don't want to blow by people that I haven't said hello to, or I don't remember saying hello to. Up, Cameron, asking for clarification. They were camo. You couldn't see them. You'd listen individually. There you go, Dawn. Well, you had to go have dinner first. Congratulations, Dawn. Will you reveal your good fortune to everybody? Always good when people get sales. V records. Maybe that's what it's called, Purple Soccer. Yeah, they were like special issue just to the armed forces. So they weren't public released records. If you come across any of them, they could be pretty valuable. That might be what it's called, Purple Soccer. Very good. Let the journey begin and retire to America's Navy, forged by the sea. Oh, we have a fellow sailor here, huh? Veterans records, maybe. Yeah, that's what Purple Sorko said. V records. I think that might be right. Maybe it's called V records. If anybody wants to do a search on V records, USO. The Hollywood Canteen was a famous thing. There's videos from the Hollywood Canteen. It was in Hollywood. It was all these, you know, Bob Hope was there, Bing Crosby, Andrews Sisters, all the biggest acts of the time would do free shows for military. All you had to do was show like a military ID and you got them for free. And the cool thing about it was like the celebrities would serve the soldiers. Like they would literally walk around with drinks and give them food. And it was kind of cool. A lot of PR and stuff, but it was great. It was a lot of camaraderie and stuff. So check that out on YouTube if you ever want to watch something kind of cool. I'll totally agree. Yeah, you're lucky if 1 in 20 gets you that money. But to me, it's still worth it. I pick them up whenever I can, you know. How much room does 400,000 to 500? I don't have 500,000 records, but I buy cases like to put the records in, which when I say records, I'm primarily talking about LPs, regular like 33 1/3 albums. But then I have my 78s in a separate thing. But I have like milk carton style things that fit about 75 to 100 records in them. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those metal racks filled with those. I mean, I have thousands of them, but I don't have anywhere near that. So I wouldn't know the answer to that. They definitely take up room, a lot more than postcards. Yeah, great to have you. Thank you for coming in. Yeah, I would say so. You love cleaning all 78s? Yeah, again, be very careful. Even cleaning them, it could be lethal for the record. Not the soap and water, but you have to be very, very gentle. Those things they're made of shellac, at least most of them, the early ones. And if you look at them the wrong way, they'll crack. It's like they shatter like a piece of glass. Very, not a lot of endurance. Yet they've lasted. I mean, that's what's miraculous when you come across these things that are from like the 20s and stuff. And the fact that they still exist is incredible. Half a nice sized basement, I would argue too. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Milk crate, same with me, 75 to 100 or so records. Absolutely true. But I just, first of all, I like records, so I'll pick them up anyway at estate sales and take my chances. And every once in a while, I'll come across something really good and I'll keep it for myself, or something that I like, and list the rest. But unfortunately, I have hoarded to an extent some records. We have a lot of records sitting here. They take 10 times the effort to list as opposed to paper items. Very good, Dawn. Congratulations. Yeah, no problem. Listing and watching TV. How do we add the TV thing? Listing, watching, and TVing. Gotta come up with a word for that. We're talking about records. Yeah, 130. I mean, you're talking about a couple thousand listings, a couple thousand ads for sure. Happy fun times. Get to work. Yeah, that's for sure. There's Rural Squirrel. How are you? Great to see you. Probably traveling. She's a rural squirrel. She travels the nation. Hope you're doing well, Kristen. Great to hear from you. We're doing a little, if you're just joining, we're kind of just chewing the fat here at this point, but we're talking about different types of items we sell. And hope you had a good weekend. Hope you had a happy Easter. Hope you had some sales. Less is more, according to Mark. Elvis went for $200 in December. What, do you know what record it was? Lurst Division. I like that. Kelly's listing. Cool. Did Railroad last night? 2 motels tonight. Beautiful. List away, man. I'll be listing as soon as I get off the show. I got to get the postcards. It becomes borderline obsessive, at least for me. I want to get these things up. I really do. I just want to, and of course the encouragement when you get somebody that is sitting there waiting for you, literally waiting to list postcards and buying 6 out of 20, 20 minutes after you hit submit. That definitely motivates me. Not the kind of thing I'm going to expect all the time, obviously, but it's pretty cool that, while it's happening, I'm going to keep riding it. Maybe he's waiting for some new listings tonight, as a matter of fact. There's 3 people that have been buying multiples consecutively. Yeah, I know. I was trying to do 100-year-old Elvis record. That's right. I don't even think Elvis's parents are 100. Well, maybe they are now. Elvis would be 80, 85 now, something like that. How crazy is that? Does anybody remember where they were when Elvis died? I do. Well, when I heard, I don't know what, I wasn't there when he died. You're home this week. Very, very, very good. One Old Buffalo, how are you? Great to see you, man. I'm glad you were able to catch a live show. Yeah, we'll put it on Coffee with that Coffee site. Free download. No, that wouldn't be free. That would be a high-end item, actually. World War II servicemen issues of local newspaper yesterday. Very cool. I love how everybody's being creative and doing different types of paper, not just magazines and postcards. Newspapers sell. Articles within newspapers can sell. 90? Elvis isn't that. Elvis was born in 35, so he'd be mid-80s, late 80s now. If you were talking about Elvis, I don't know. Oh, really? It depends. I don't really have a sleep schedule necessarily. I have trouble sleeping sometimes still. And if I have trouble, the beauty is now I can come down and just list some cards instead of counting sheep, list some World's Fair cards. It's a good vice to have. Same age as Dad. Cool. Popeye is a purist. Yes. In its truest sense. You're a something. Oh, yeah. Some of the records. I mean, now you got to realize, this is definitely 78s. 78s go back to the Edison records are from the late 1800s. Turn of the century. The ragtime stuff sells. If you want to look up ragtime, is a great thing to look for when it comes to 78s. Old gospel records seem to do well. Like anything else, scarcity sells pretty much, right? So stuff like that you can't, old blues records, really old blues records from the 20s and 30s would do very, very well. Delta blues, Chicago blues, old country records. There was no rock and roll. It was 30, 40 years before rock and roll existed. So you're going to find a lot of that kind of stuff. And they can sell pretty well. But that old, ragtime kind of stuff. Same with sheet music. There's a lot of parallels here. The sheet music is something else I like. And for me personally, the sheet music that seems to do the best is that same era. Like the earlier, the better. Turn of the century up to the 20s or 30s or so. Ragtime, early jazz. With the sheet music, a lot of movie scores, Broadway shows. Old is good. Preach cutout ads of your old magazines. You just sold to Marilyn Monroe. There are exceptions, Old Buffalo. And that Marilyn would be an exception. Although I would argue you could still get a lot more than 95 out of that magazine if you cut it up. But I respect the Marilyn. I probably wouldn't carve up Marilyn. Marilyn and Beatles and Burt Law. The ones you don't want to cut up. Or at least comedic. 88? Okay, cool. That's crazy to think, though. Fan club postcards in the 78s. Get out, really. There's a good one. Most of the 78s I come across anyway, Mark, most of them, not all of them, don't have any sleeves, unfortunately. They're usually just piles of just the physical discs. Once in a while, I'll find some. Sometimes you'll find some nice box sets. They made little mini box sets, 2 or 3 records. I sold one, I don't know, within the year, Hawaiian music from like 1941. It was like 5 or 6 discs, 78s, and a really nice box with like a little booklet. It was all just Hawaiian music, ukulele and stuff. Very cool. Somebody bought that. But most of them, unfortunately, are just kind of loose, at least the ones I've found. Douglas Edmonds inherited about 50 complete newspapers from 1800s. Nice. Both. I mean, do your research if you can on the issues. Newspapers are kind of, people are finicky about newspapers, and one of the things I always talk about with newspapers, at least what I learned was, I used to think that big events would be things that people wanted, and there's some truth to that. But again, you got to remember, like the moon landing or Kennedy assassination, or very incredibly monumental moments in human history are going to be so mass produced. Like there's going to be trillions of papers out there from Kennedy, from moon landing, from all these things. So they get watered down, at least in my experience. So like it's the lesser known things that are pretty big still, but not Kennedy getting shot, not the moon landing, not even 9/11, which is much more recent. But things like that, they're almost too popular to command any real big value as far as newspapers, I should say. That's what I've noticed. So I would just take a look at, try to do some searches, see if you could find the newspaper itself on eBay, on WorthPoint if you have WorthPoint, and then the cover, and then put the date in. There's some resources where you could literally put a date, Monday, July 7th, 1912, whatever, New York Times, and it'll give you, especially a big paper like the New York Times, it'll give you like information about what the cover was, and that might help you in your search. But unless it's something really, really special on the cover, I would definitely sell ads if they were inside, especially Sunday issues or Batman. What? Sheet music was annoying. Totally forced me on how to read the Roman numeral disc. Oh, I knew how to do the Roman numerals since I was a little kid, so I like that. All the movies, MCM, LX, BII. At the end of every movie, it used to show you, it was always in Roman numerals. I like the Roman numerals. I enjoy sheet music. Strand magazine from 1902. You got ads from Mitchell Motor Bicycles. No, I have not had a Strand magazine. Is that a British magazine, Lisa? Just curious. I've heard the name, but I don't know. I thought for some reason it might be a British one. I have not come across any. But those, yeah, sure. 1902 motorcycle, which looks eerily like a bicycle, right? They kind of look like bicycles, the same spoked wheels. There's a very famous motorcycle company called Indian Motorcycle, which I sold several ads of, and they were early, the turn of the century-ish period. Chicago Blues was basically Delta Blues, yes. Yeah, absolutely. But there's a distinction, like within the blues realm, the Chicago Blues versus Delta Blues, and it's like St. Louis Blues, which is kind of where Chuck Berry came from, and morphed into rock and roll. Rock's real personality. Lee Harvey Oswald, 60. Cool. Yeah. And again, if you have, there's no harm in that at all. Especially if you have hundreds of magazines and you come across a Lee Harvey Oswald, a Marilyn Monroe, a Beatles, sell them and make some money. Sure, if you paid, $1 or less for the magazine and you want to do a quick flip for $70, that's great. I'm just, my story. I don't have to say it again. I do want to take the time and cut them up because I'll get so much more. But there are certain covers that are sort of sacred. You could absolutely sell a Marilyn cover by itself, frame it, 1952 Marilyn Monroe cover, and probably get pretty good money just for the cover itself. And then you could still, best of both worlds, you could sell the cover and make money, and then you could sell the individual ads and make a lot more. Cut them up. Cut them up. Yes, Memphis, absolutely. Delta. Yeah, like I said, as a kid, I learned them, so it's been pretty simple. Oh, man, please, I agree. Love me some blues. One of the greatest concerts I've ever been to in my life was called the Benson and Hedges Blues Festival. I went to 2 or 3 years, but the one year I went was when Clapton was touring with Stevie Ray Vaughan and his brother, Fabulous Thunderbirds, Jimmy Vaughan, and they were doing a concert. This is in Manhattan. They were doing a concert at the Garden, Madison Square Garden, and we went to the Benson and Hedges Blues Festival at the Beacon Theater. The show started at midnight, just as that, which is right away a cool thing. And after the show at the Garden, Clapton came with Stevie Ray and Jimmy Vaughan, and they jammed. John Lee Hooker was at that show. Willie Dixon came walking out. It was awesome. The whole band just went down, 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 and they came walking out with a cane. It was like chills racing up and down. One of the best shows. It was like from midnight till 7 a.m. I think it was like 89, probably summer of 89. Great, great show. So I love the blues. Yes, it was. Yes, Terapeak now has 2 years of data. Absolutely. Death of Superman. Year before Holly. Cool. And there's a link. Another Soul Postcard. Amazing title. Postcard, Bridge, Mystic Connect. Mystic Connect is a beautiful town. I play there all the time. A lot of money in Mystic, but congratulations, Wonk, if you just sold it. It's out of New York City. What's out of New York City, Lisa? I am. Love the blues. Yeah, old motorcycle ads. I just sold, if you check out I think it's in, oh no, it's not in the what sold video yet. I sold an ad yesterday, a 2-page Honda ad, Honda motorcycle ad. Much, 60, I forgot what year it was. Let me look it up. But anyway, it sold for $30. I think we listed it on a listing show. Let me pull that up just to show everybody, because it'll be in the next what sold video probably. I think it's sold after I recorded the video, but I definitely want to show everybody this one. 63 Honda motorcycle ad sold for $30. I'm going to pull it up and see if anybody remembers this one. I think we listed this together, but we will hide the individual's name for, just because we don't want to put somebody's username out there. But let me show you this one, everybody. Nice ad. Good money. Good money, money, money. There it is. Check that out. $30, everybody. 2-pager. Cut down the middle. 30 buckaroonies for a Honda motorcycle ad from 1963. You can see the ad a little bit better there. Put it in the next what sold most likely. Kind of a goofy looking ad. Look at the doggy up there. People like doggies. People like baseball players. Kelly likes surfers. Old lady. Bearded guy playing tennis. You can see why it sold. February 21st, 64. Yep. Music is everything. What's up, Callie Debs? How you doing? 50-year-old. I love old school gangsta rap, old country blues, old garage dances, music. And the immortal words of the Doobie Brothers, "Music is the doctor." Anybody remember that song? Terrible song. Their comeback. Anyway, isn't that cool, guys? $30 on an ad. There I am. Yeah. $30 for an ad is pretty good. I saw the Allman Brothers 100 times. They started doing the same theater in Manhattan. They started doing like a residency every March. They would play at the Beacon Theater. I saw them 100 times, like probably literally. Allman Brothers were great, but they're mostly dead now, unfortunately. It's out of New York City. Oh, gotcha. Okay, sorry about that. No, I haven't seen one, Lisa. Yep, exactly. The motorcycles back then, they did look like bicycles. Zappa is I'm hit or miss with Zappa. I like Zappa as a character. I think he was a very witty guy and all. His music is a little hit or miss for me personally. People love Zappa. I'm not anti-Zappa. I don't think he's I don't know. Some stuff is cool. I think he tried too hard to be different all the time. Great guitar player. Innovative guitar player. They were all free. That's always a good price. You have the same ad. There you go. $30. Everybody needs to get Kelly was writing and saying he needs to get his ads up. He does. Kelly needs to get his ads up, but he's listing cards right now. Thank you. Yeah, it was a good one. Cool. Get it up. Your dream would be Allman Brothers. Oh, you never saw them? They played constantly, man. I mean, in New York, they were always here. Good question, Jackie Jack. Yeah, Zappa's weird. I mean, intentionally, he aimed to be weird and different, and that's cool. It's just some of his stuff is I don't know a good word to describe it. I dig some stuff, but other stuff is just, again, I think he's like trying too hard to be way out and all, and I don't know, self-indulgent. You're waiting to list ads for your ads listing show. Oh, really? Are you really waiting for the show? All right, so you have to have a show corresponding with the stuff you're listing. Yeah, I'll definitely get some ads up, man. I appreciate that you want to say it again. I like doing them. Oh, I would do it right now. I don't have any ads scanned. Kelly, excuse me, Dawn, that's why. I don't have any ads scanned. I don't think. Hold on. I don't think I have any ads scanned. If I do, there's like 3 of them. I really don't. I have a Mayflower truck from 1968. I have a Dodge from 1968. And I have a Swanson TV dinner from 1968. Which for some reason looks very familiar. Let me make sure maybe I forgot to delete this one. Let me check it very quickly. Because if you want, we'll pull up an ad or two. Just to get in the practice. Swanson. I have 3 Swanson ads up. 66, 48, and 66. No, okay, I don't have that one listed. Good. It looked familiar. I just want to make sure. Sometimes after I scan something and I list it, I delete it from my folder system in my computer because now I have it all backed up on 6-bit, so I don't have to worry about losing the pictures. Mayflower. Remember Mayflower trucks, those big, huge moving trucks? Years ago, I moved to Florida and we used a Mayflower truck. All right, cool. So I don't have those 2 listed. There's 2 we could list. Come on, Jay. Oh, Kelly, why wait? Watching Marty for the print ads, then he fell in love with postcards. I already watched Popeye and Marcus for that. No problem. I did fall in love hard. Yeah, we'll get into the ads. I have 3 we could list if you want. From 68. Let me just make sure I have the date on this. I just have 68 life. I don't know what I don't have a SKU on there for some ridiculous reason. I must have just scanned these with the hopes of listing them on a show. Let me do one more search, everybody. Let's see because if I can find my SKU for this, we could list a couple of ads if anyone wants to check that out. Title, life. Kind of cool is I could look at the date that it was scanned and then try to back into. I have 154 print ads from 1968 Life magazines listed. So now let's look at when did I scan this? September. Because if anybody understands what I'm trying to get across without saying it, because I'm staring at my eBay screen, if I just list these 3 print ads, I don't right now know what folder they're in, what envelope they're in. And of course, my luck, they'll wind up selling and I won't be able to find them. Well, Kelly, it's all about expectations, isn't it, Kelly? How many ads do you have ahead? I have 3 we could list right now on eBay, but I just have to find out what folder they're in before I list them, because if they list and sell, I don't know where they are yet. Which is not like me, but for some reason I just scanned a couple and threw them in a folder. It just says December 68 life, but it doesn't. I usually have a SKU on all my print ads, and there's no SKU on it, so I don't know what. It could be one of like 10 different folders. Just trying to find one that might be from the same scan date, and then like I said, I could kind of back into saying, okay, it's probably this one. You have a bunch of family photos. Oh, that's cool. Do I D the bike? There's probably groups and stuff. I would just do the Google photo thing. What is it called? Google Lens. You could drop it in, Leland, if you have it scanned. Just drop it into Google Lens and see if you can find some. It'll search and try to find similar items. Was that a good reason? Oh, how many have I bought? Well, I don't buy ads individually, so I just buy the magazines and I cut out the ads. Like I know people buy. Well, I know for a fact people buy ads, and some people buy ads, bulk ads to resell them. All of mine came from magazines. Magazines, we probably have a couple of thousand magazines. I picked up my one biggest individual magazine pickup was 650-ish Life magazines. That's what kind of started me on the print ad thing, was getting that big thing. Because remember, every one of them has 10 to 20 ads in them, 20 to 30 ads in them, depending on the issue. So there's a lot. Do it tonight. Kelly's knee deep in postcards. Oh, there we go. Maybe Mike's a postcard guy. Excuse me, not a postcard, a motorcycle guy. Cool, cool. Very true, Dawn. But like as a general rule, Lisa, I mean, with Life magazines, that I have many more magazines that aren't Life as well, but Life magazines, especially once you get into the 40s, 50s, 60s, you could probably get full page ads, 30 per magazine at least. Many more of the smaller ads. Lisa, I don't know if you've ever watched my this isn't a plug, by the way, it's just a fact. My playlist about, I have a whole series about vintage print ads, and I talk about a lot of the smaller ads that you could sell as well, like in the back of a magazine. You know, it's not just the big full page ones that sell, the smaller ones can sell really well. So check out that video series if you'd like to just take a look and get some ideas. Cause like really, if you, I'm trying to think of a 1942 Life magazine that has like 200 pages or something, you could easily get 100 ads. You'll get, 20, 30 big ones, full pages, and then you'll get a whole bunch of almost like I define or describe them as like the classified ads in a newspaper in the back, the smaller ads like 1 inch or 2 square, 3 inches square, and they sell really well, some of them. In fact, one of the Indian motorcycle ads I sold fairly recently was one of those. It was like a 3-inch square, or maybe like 3 inches long by 2 inches from like 1903, 1904, something like that. Sold for like $20 for a tiny little ad. You tried that. Sorry. Yeah, that was my first guess. I don't know motorcycles very well, unfortunately. And Purple Soko is listing from a 71. Cool. Oh, thank you very much, Happy. I appreciate that. I feel bad. I really do feel bad now. Kelly wanted to do print ads. I'll scan some print ads, so we're not in this situation again. You have post 40 somewhere. What many years ago? Cool. Very cool. Very cool. I do, absolutely. In fact, all the ads, I put the size in there. That's a good question. On the description, yep, I do. I'll put 2 inch by 2 inch because I don't want somebody thinking they're getting you want to talk about opening the floodgates, for a return or for a negative feedback. Yes, I always put the dimensions in for all of them, for all the ads I list. Absolutely. I think it's important. I sell, most of them, of course, are going to be full pages. Not all of them, but most of them are going to be full pages. Sometimes you've probably seen on the listing shows, they'll be half. Like, so you figure it's 14 by 11. So it's like 14 by 5.5 or so, like a split page. Again, those things sell. I don't want anybody to think like you can only sell those big, colorful Budweiser ads. You could sell everything. You could sell hosiery ads from 1910, that are 1 inch by 1 inch. Quack medicine is something I talk about a lot. Those quack medicine ads, which you'll see all the time back then, like pre 1912, pre World War I. You'll see a lot of the quack medicines. Like, if anybody doesn't know what that means, it means like these, bogus advertisements like elixirs of life. Take a drink of this tonic, it cures baldness, it cures herpes, it cures measles, a drink of this, a drink of that. You'd see that all the time, like silly little gadgets that were supposed to do things. It's called quack medicine collectively. And if you put quack medicine in one of those ads in your title, you probably get a lot of interest in it. Yeah, Dawn has a lot of, from what I've heard, Dawn has a lot of stuff to list. And she has a good source for magazines too. Yep, I sold I think 2 so far, Jackie Jack, that I've listed. It's fine. Okay, good. No in title, not description. Oh, not in the title. Nope, I put it in the description. Yep. I reserve the title for keywords, Yep, I always have it in the description. And I haven't had anybody, complain yet, so I'm not worried about it. Yeah, I put that in my I get into some nitty gritty. I mean, again, if you've seen the listing shows, and apparently there's a bunch of you that probably haven't seen a listing show. It's been a long time with print ads anyway. Yeah, I have sort of a canned description thing, and then I just change, specifics like dates and magazine titles. But I always put the dimensions. I'll put exactly what magazine the ad's from, because you'd be surprised how many people are searching specific months, specific years. A lot of the times it's their birthday or a family member's birthday, and they want to have an issue of a magazine that was from their birthday. Even better, it doesn't always happen, especially later on, but some of the really early magazines, the header of the magazine, almost like Saturday Evening Posts in the teens and 20s, they'll have the full date, Saturday Evening Post, May 10th, 1921, across the top. And a lot of people that buy them love that it has like a timestamp, if you will, right on the physical paper. And that's another selling point. Yep, quack medicine. And they sell really well. Happy Fun Times. They're collected. People collect that nonsense. They probably wind up in Cracker Barrel restaurants. Yeah, definitely in description. Yep. Absolutely, Claude. Again, one of my videos is basically says what to do with the rest of the magazine. That's a perfect example. Yeah, sell them for like scrap lots for collages or craft lots, I should say. Etsy is a good place to get rid of those. That's funny. Yeah. Dawn, I know, always errs on the side of caution. She likes to have herself covered, which I can't blame her, so somebody doesn't come back and say, I thought this was a full page. And she wrote 2" by 3" in the title and the description and in her SKU. Anyway, she could get them in. World War II pilot got pictures of an album and his bike and a flying biplane. Oh, wow. That's really cool. That is very cool. That's why. Yep. And I've seen people all the time. They'll just put like, some people get even the marks of the print ad world will just put 1950s print ad Ford car, 1950s, not any year. I get the details. I put exactly what it's from, because you'd be surprised. There are people that absolutely want to know that information. And I don't want to get 25 messages a day that says, what year is this magazine from? Do you know what issue this is from? And having to go back. It takes a second to put it in. When I scan them, I have a folder system in my computer. And I just, contrary to what you just saw with the 1968 Life, but I usually will put L123 Life magazine, number 123, August 1967. So they all go in the folder. And then when I do my listings, I just change it once and then sell similar. And I have the details that I want in the ads for the whole bucket that I'm going to be listing from that folder. And I'm going to change it to the next folder. I just change those particulars. Good. You know what? Why don't you go back to Oregon? Oh, I could tear you people apart, but I won't. Picked up a vintage Sunbeam chrome toaster this past week. Oh, very cool. Good stuff. 150 to 200, and he got it for $3. Beautiful. Most definitely, Sandy. Absolutely. Yeah, and just from a buying perspective, I don't go out and buy print ads. I can understand why people do, but I don't. But if I want, I'm trying to think of something else that wouldn't you want to know? What's something else you would buy that you wanted to know the year it was from? A record maybe or something. That's easily, you could search that pretty easily. I'm trying to think of another example of an item that you'd want to buy. Like if you're a collector and you want to buy and you want to know what year or what specific date it's from. Help me with that. Can anybody think of that? What's something else that somebody might want to know the exact date of? Or at least a month and a year of something that they collect. I was going to say postcards, but that's not necessarily true. Eras of postcards. You can make estimates if they're not, if they weren't written on or they don't have a stamp on the back. Yep, I agree totally. Just toast. I had to clean spider webs out of it, but cleaning up chrome stuff is Zen for me. Oh, you really? That's cool. Zen is a good place to be, experiencing Zen. I'm not right now because hour and a half in and no cha-chings yet for me. No new cha-chings. After a nice little flurry in the morning. Anybody getting any sales during the show? I think we've only had 2 people call them out. Concert ticket stubs? Yeah, concert ticket stubs can sell for sure. It's also funny, if somebody like me, I used to always I still do. I kept concert ticket stubs from all the shows I've been to. And as you get older, your own stuff suddenly becomes, vintage and collectible, which is kind of funny. Same thing with baseball cards, like stuff that I would collect, is suddenly older. It's weird. And you could look into your own stash of things that you just might have from being a kid or whatever. And now they're suddenly, collectible. Crickets over there, Kelly. I'm sorry. Me too. No cha-ching here either. And I didn't even hit my own like button. That's why I didn't give myself a thumbs up. I try not to do that. Yeah, there's definitely days like that. Same exact thing with me, Matt. In the beginning of the show, I talked about it. I had like 10 sales between 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock in the morning, which was ridiculous. I was like, oh my God, here we go. And I knew it. I said, as soon as I opened my mouth, that's going to be it. And then I had like 2 more around noon or 1 o'clock and nothing since 1 o'clock. So it's been almost 7.5 hours of dead silence. But same thing. A few people have talked about the morning was really, for whatever reason, kind of like maybe the day after Easter. I don't know. The morning, everybody was ready to roll. Speaking of ticket stubs. Oh, really? That's cool. I've never got a sale. I love how I could suddenly understand what he's writing. Isn't that crazy? You see it long enough and you kind of, yeah, you get back what you paid. No, I'm sorry to hear that, man. It's been slow for a lot of people. It was slow for me too, up until the last 2 days were pretty good. And especially like last night was good. And then this morning was good. And unfortunately, not a lot right now. You have a lot to list before cha-ching land. Yeah, it is. I also try, best efforts, it's not always successful. I try to not get into these rabbit holes everybody talks about. I try not to get, like, I know it's tempting, especially with real photos. You get into it, you want to look up this and look up this and look up this. At the end of the day, I'm just trying to get postcards listed right now. So I try not to get too deeply involved. Although I'll tell you, with all the 1939 World's Fair stuff I've been listing, I started watching YouTube videos about the 1939 World's Fair. There is tons of video out there, like really good color movies from the 1939-1940 World's Fair. Very interesting stuff. And it's cool to see the real versions of all the stuff I have on the postcards too. Same sale. You got the toaster. You picked up a cast iron cornbread pan, $5. Figured it was nice. Yeah, Matt dabbles in a whole bunch of stuff. It's funny. I'm trying to go backwards to do to get rid of all that kind of stuff and go paper as much as I can. And there's other people that are searching out these cool things. That's great. Whatever makes money, right? Lursting. No, she's cooking in the background, actually. No one was ready to work, so they browse Monday morning. Yeah, that's probably true. That's a great question. I'm not there yet. There's the stuff I'm calling like typical. I guess the more you do, like I'm in this World's Fair thing, right? So the more World's Fair stuff I see, I'm starting to just come up with my own little thing, and it seems to be working so far. It might not work long term, but when it comes to pricing, I'm like, okay, most of these are like $8 or $9 or $6 or $10. And then there's ones that just pop off the screen that look different. They're not a typical view. So I'll take the time and look that up. But once, if you do a couple, 100 of them, 200 of them, 300 of them, you definitely see, you see trends. And I try to to expedite things and get as many as I can listed without hopefully glancing over a gem. I just kind of keep the pricing fairly consistent, go up $1 or $2 once in a while. If it's a little less, like there's pavilions in the World's Fair, every country had its own pavilion. And the timing is interesting because 1939 World's Fair, Hitler's rampaging through Europe already. And that's always an interesting thing when you watch the videos, is like how it was like the end of America's innocence, they called it, and all that. This beautiful, grandiose fair about the whole thing was the world of tomorrow. And everything kind of got put on hold right after that for World War II, obviously. And so like if I see a pavilion that's like a country that you don't see too often, like Poland was just taken over, and they have this beautiful like monument in front of Poland. And so some people like to buy that stuff because it's like right at the end of Czechoslovakia, countries that don't even exist or change names. I look for that kind of stuff, different views. So anyway, that's what I do. I'm trying to get to that point, at least with this stuff, as I go through more and more of them. When I get to my Christmas cards, which is next after I finish next to list after I finish listing the World's Fair stuff, that's going to be completely foreign to me. So I'll probably be taking like 20 minutes on every card, trying to look them up, and I don't know anything about that yet. So that's going to take me some time. You listed a walker today? Beautiful. Yeah, they're expensive. My dad has one. He doesn't use it usually, but they could be expensive. Kabuki actors? Right, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes it could lead you into the World's Fair thing. Brought me to YouTube, and of course I sit there for an hour watching YouTube videos. That's how you get off track, folks. That's cool. Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's all that matters. Absolutely. Smell-o-vision for the cookies. I'm so sick of cookies, I couldn't even tell you. But they do smell good. Hey, maybe young people want walkers too. Yeah, that's very well put. Yeah, just when you think you have it figured out a little, there's a gotcha in there. You sold a photo yesterday of a Budweiser Clydesdale wagon in a parade. No info. Cherry Hut. That's pretty cool. Sounds original. The ones for young folks have wheels. Baby walker. There you go. Tennis balls. Yeah, I've seen people put the tennis balls on the bottom. You're just trying to learn the periods and how to recognize them someday. Yeah. To me anyway, there's a much smaller learning curve than for stamps. Stamps are just a beast. I have a lot of patience for a lot of things. And I was going to say I don't have patience for stamps. That's not really true. I just don't want to devote that much time to them because I don't know. I just don't want to. There's so much to learn about stamps. Postcards, there's tons to learn about postcards, but the errors it's a smaller window of errors, and it's pretty. Most of them are pretty easily identifiable as far as, that's a linen card, that's a white border card. It's a little less work, I think, anyway, at the beginning to just kind of get your head wrapped around those different types of postcards. Then there's, of course, tons to learn individually, and the photos are definitely the Wild West, and that's the fun part, though. The real photos are great. Because sometimes you don't have any idea. Sometimes they're completely one-offs. It's just a one-time photo. A Chinese chef. Yeah, there's lots to learn. All right, congratulations, Laura. How you doing, Laura? Did I say hello to you? Is that your first comment of the evening? Welcome to the show, Laura. Speaking of postcards. Yeah, there you go. That's well put. We have some stamps to get into. Mrs. Flippett has tried many times. She, if anybody's going to do it, she's going to do it. Way to go. I'm glad it's working. I loaded up over the weekend. Fun times. Several years I've been flipping through them. Oh, yeah. Popeye, see how many millions of postcards have gone through your hands, Popeye, over these years, right? That's one of the things that I think is really exciting. There's always new stuff to learn and new stuff you haven't seen, no matter how long you do it. That's one of the things that I'm intrigued by with postcards. Just got home. You too, Cameron. Thanks for coming in, man. Glad you're home safe. Yeah, exactly. And you got to hope that the law of averages will work out, that eventually you'll get some of those back, but that's got to hurt. You just chalk it up as a learning experience, right? Try not to let them slip through your hands again. Yeah, it's the word I always used was there's a lot of gotchas with stamps. Every time I thought I had something really good, there was a gotcha. And you have one less perforation. Now it's worthless. Oh, great. Thank you. So that's kind of discouraging. Yeah, phase it in slowly, but just phase it in. Whatever you do, if you can, pick one and just get into them and get some listed. That's my thing. I don't want my house filled with stuff. I want to list them. Combing through sold eBay listings, picked up every old postcard guidebook. Yeah. But you also have a passion for it, which is really cool. And when you usually see that with people that are passionate about whatever they're passionate about, they like to dig deeper and get as much information as they possibly can. And when there's a monetary component, makes it even more exciting. A waka. It's funny. Waka, waka, waka. Oh, yeah. Yep, stamps could be pretty old. You just sold a $130 postcard for $17. Yeah, I remember. I think you would. Is that a Disney card, Popeye, you were telling us about? When you really meant to have the confidence to list, but I'm no expert by means. I'll tell you, Kelly's the ultimate example of somebody who just the sheer volume that he has. The more you see, the more things you go through, you're bound to learn about, a topic if you have tens of thousands of them. So I think that's pretty cool that he got into it. So another ad. Way to go, Dawn. You 2 sales for the day. Hey, it's better than 0, right? Yeah, stamps are definitely tricky. I agree. Walk puns. Yeah, it's a good group of people in this place. That's for sure. Stamps on postcards are posted, so not. Yeah, that's another thing. A lot of people naively thought too, like, oh wow, look at this stamp on this old postcard. It's got to be worth. And I've heard from many people that 99.9% of the stamps are very basic, everyday stamps that are on most of those postcards. And yeah, value is definitely in the ones that are not used, unhinged, all that stuff. More knowledge equals more money. There you go. You list, you sell. More knowledge, more money. Yeah, totally true. It goes for anything, not just postcards, obviously. Anything. Me too. It's a brand new adventure. Postcards are a new adventure. 1907 Jamestown Expo card. Oh, geez. I thought there was a Disney card you had talked about. You're a sponge for info and comps. That's cool. Yeah, it always helps to be interested in things too, right? Of course, it inspires you to want to learn more about it. That's for sure. Steep incline, sure. All the cliches, but they're all true. It's a marathon, not a sprint. I'm sure that's true. Yeah, the postmark itself, right? If it's from a cool place. Yeah, to Kelly's point about getting a volume up. My hope, and I'm not big on that kind of stuff. If you get X amount of this up, you're going to sell them every day. But I'm hoping if I get to 20,000 postcards, I should be selling a couple every day. I hope, like consistently, because I'm selling a couple every day, usually every day. But it's only because I'm listing a lot now. It's totally true what Papa said. You list, you sell, no matter what it is. And if I just keep pounding away at postcards, people are going to buy some. Popeye's Pearls of Wisdom. A Berlin drag performer. That's not something you see every day, but congratulations to you, Laura. Buying the large letter reference book the Popeye recommended has led to great. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I saw you had some really good sales in the large letter. Because you also had, but the ones that you were showing were really like kind of like rare towns too, right? I'm sure that adds a lot to the value. Scarcity sells. That's my thing. Scarcity sells. I would absolutely check out Popeye's series. Mark has great videos and tons of them. Yep, totally agreed. Oh, indeed he is. Indeed he is. And obviously feel free, John, to put your link in there. Yeah, totally true. I agree. Perfins. Oh, perforations. There's Popeye. Look at Dawn. At 20K, was seeing 10 to 15 a day. So that's awesome. I'm almost. I could do my thing, but I mean, I'm pretty much selling 1 or 2 a day usually, which I know is not going to make any much. I'm not like beating my chest about this. I promise you, but it's encouraging. Like today I sold 7 or 8 already. Like, yesterday I sold 6 or 7. So like there's a few days where to me, that's a lot. If I sell 6 or 7 postcards in a day, I'm pretty happy because I'm still, I think, under 3,000. I don't have 3,000 listed yet. So I'm just trying to scale that out. It's not a direct relationship, but yeah, if I could get to 10 to 15 a day, I'd be pretty happy. And I'll get to 20,000 sooner than later too. Now I have the ability to. I don't have to keep going out and buying them in drips and drabs. I have a nice little stash. Very happy about that. That was probably the biggest kick. It was just the fact that I now have the ability to list this many. That was exciting to me. I had a channel a few years ago. Yes. Yeah, Popeye kind of like gets on little tears for a while, then reels it back. Huge player in the Whatnot world, if you're not familiar. Happy Fun Times, Whatnot. Oh, they're not rare towns. Low print runs. Okay, cool. Yeah, scarcity. It's not a greetings from Atlantic City card like this, 7 trillion of. I know enough that I'm annoyed by them, and there's just too much more to learn. And the Scott's catalogs, which are like the Bible for stamp collectors, to get a Scott's number are an absolute fortune if you buy them. I do not suggest anybody buy a new one unless you have unlimited cash. But there's, you could get a 10, 15-year-old issue. It's basically the same information. You really just need the Scott's number. That's really what you're paying for. The value is going to go up and down a little bit. But I think eBay sets the value of stamps nowadays. And, Hip Stamp. Not that I want to mention that place anymore, but Hip Stamp. Get stuff cleared up with eBay? Oh, interesting. Thank you for that, Lisa. Oh, that is it. Oh, yeah, that was a saga. Probably like over a month ago now, right? Used to collect club stamps. You ignore them on Postcard, yeah. They're cool. I'm not against stamps or anything. I think there's so much to learn about them, and there's so many different varieties, especially globally, worldwide stamps. And it just takes a lot of time and effort to get into them. Yeah, the gotchas are out of control. Very disappointing when you think you have big money and it's a quarter. Oh, okay, cool. So you're fully on board. 19,000 a little less. Yeah, I'm at like 17. Congratulations, Florida Man Jim. Diecast cars, sure. Very good, very good. All right, hello again. Pop by tomorrow night. Oh, tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Tuesday. Beautiful. Yep, I get that. Yeah, that's true. There you go. To tempt your soul. No, yeah. Kelly has the white flag up. 500 staring at you. So many people, again, my big thing is estate sales. Not my big thing. One of the main things I've been going to is estate sales, Sandy. And same thing, magazines, old paper and stuff are always like afterthoughts usually at these estate sales. So many people run for jewelry, and I always talk about in my area tools, like the tool shed, or there's a garage with like auto parts. People like run for that kind of stuff. Silverware, dishes, clothing for sure, still hanging in people's closets, which is always a little bit heartbreaking. But we run, and records are pretty popular. We run for records and for old paper. And it's funny, up until this year, I'd never looked for postcards at estate sales. I don't know how frequently you're going to run into them, but I'm sure that, depending on where you go, you might find some. Where is Sherlock? Sherlock is upstairs in bed with probably with Mrs. Flippett right now. He had a very busy day today. A dog's life, Oh my goodness. Well, I'm very happy everybody a bunch of you got some sales tonight. That's very encouraging. I'm still sitting here at a solid 7 hours and 40 minutes since my last sale, which is not good, but I'm sort of happy with what I had this morning anyway. So many stamps you discovered at estate sales, picking up old albums. Don't know. There's so many George Washington, Benjamin Franklin. Oh, there's so many variations of the same stamp. That's another thing that kills me. There's so many slight color differences, like I described them as gotchas. The slightest change in pigmentation can mean the difference between like a $5,000 stamp and a quarter stamp, and that's moderately infuriating to me. You think you have something really good, and it happened. When we were really getting into stamps was a couple of years ago. My wife and I, with this collection I got from my great grandfather, and we still have. I mean, we have. I can't even count how many we have, and she's doing a good job. She's still organizing them a little bit. Everyone we looked up, almost all of them are very, very, nothing super expensive. But then that's again where numbers come into play. We could probably sell a lot of 100,000 stamps for, I don't know. The lowest price stamp now is a quarter, supposedly. That I didn't know until we started researching them. All stamps are valued at least a quarter, domestically anyway. So 25 cents times 100,000, I would take that to get rid of them. And I know I'm going to probably foolishly give away some that are valuable, but I've had them so long, and he collected them well over 120 years ago. So might as well get something for them. It's such an odyssey to get into. We went to, we talk about the postcard clubs and postcard shows. We visited a stamp show once a couple years ago, and then we got invited. This guy, really nice gentleman, older guy, said he would take a look at our stuff. It was in his living room. We went over, we visited, we hung out for like 3 hours, and I brought over a few albums that my wife had put in, organized. And he was just kind of giving it a high level overview and saying they were in good condition, and, but what he saw there weren't any like standout stamps, but collectively they could have some value. So it's just one of those things we kind of put in. Actually, that's kind of when the print ads entered my life. So we kind of blew off the stamps in favor of the print ads. What's up, JC Loftus? How you doing? Good evening to you. Hope you're doing okay tonight. Yeah, let's let other people talk about stamps. Oniata stainless flatware is almost grateful. Oh, cool. There you go. There's Florida Man Jim's Bolo. If you have a man's name, every time you go to the store and have look up my rewards number or look at a card, I can't use my wife's card. Yep. It's like a little piece of tape. Oh, there's a Chicago. Oh, is Mark going? Mark, if you're still watching, you going to the Chicago postcard with your can of pop? Hi, Charles. How are you? Welcome to the show. Good to have you. Hinge is an old way to put stamps in the book. Yep. It's almost like a little piece of tape on the back. They say hinged or unhinged. And now this, as you see what it says, body blue raised arms, still learning. Yeah, I'll probably call it a night at 9:00 if anybody's waiting. Yes, it does. Way to go, Matt. See, now it's going to be a return, though. You didn't hit the like button. Mint never hinged. Yeah, that's why you only got 266. I am definitely going to be listing some postcards this evening, right after we sign off. Drink of some sort, and then head back downstairs because Miss Flippert will be back down. She's not done yet. She's got to wait for the stuff that she flooded. It's called flooding. You put like icing on cookies, basically. They have to dry. It takes some time, like an hour to dry, and then she'll be back down. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for everybody that did hit the like button. Again, pleasure having everybody tonight. I really appreciate you showing up. 296, a pity buy. Mint non-hinged or mint unhinged. Mint non-hinged. $4 hours for your beef jerky. Yeah, really. How about a pity $100 buy? I have a question for all you people who do postcards for a while. What's your highest? I know Mark's answer. Kelly, what's the most expensive postcard you ever sold? Popeye, what's the most expensive? That'd be harder for Popeye to remember. Most expensive postcard you ever sold? Laura, what's the most expensive postcard you ever sold? Connie, what's the most expensive postcard you ever sold? If you're still watching. Matt, what's the most expensive postcard you ever sold? I knew everybody would remember. 186. That's cool. We just recently a Disney card for 400. Wow. 120 for Steve last week. Really? That's awesome, guys. I have one listed right now for $99.99, and I have one listed for $129.99. And my highest is only $50 so far, which was a real photo of I've talked about this, of a Mexican. Heck was it? It was somebody who's collects. We talk about everybody. People collect everything. Marbles. Guy collected people playing marbles, images of people playing marbles, and it was a real photo from the Texas-Mexican border, early 1910s or something like that. A couple of kids playing marbles in the street, sold for $50, like an hour after I listed it. And this was like one of the first 100 cards I ever listed. So I was like, woohoo, here we go. Haven't sold anyone for $50 since, but hopefully we'll get up there. It's a numbers game. I'd rather sell 50 cards a day at 100. I wish at $5-10 a day. I'd be happy with that. And then every once in a while you get the big bang. 1970, the most expensive. The set of Rex Mardi Gras floats for $1,200. Wow. $1,250. You had 12 of them. Well, there you go. Wow. See, I always heard that the Chinese, maybe there's like everything, maybe there's a bubble for this, but the old Chinese real photos are supposedly very desirable and can be really valuable. You sold several Mississippi Agricultural College 200. Wow. Holy cow. $90. Huntington, Indiana Railroad Depot. I love railroad. Love the choo-choos. Yep, that's the legendary one. So I was going to say, I know Mark's has Hold to the Light. Uncle Sam has a video about it, so check that out. Mark's probably asleep already. He didn't even say goodnight. But if you're still watching, Mark, I'm just kidding. But yeah, he has a whole video about that. $1,900 card. Unbelievable. The Olympic, mint condition, sister ship of Titanic. Yep. That's phenomenal, man. Normally a lot of bulk pricing and try to push volume rather than... Yeah. Me too. I mean, at least at this point where it's, fairly common cards, but like anything else with volume, eventually you're going to probably come across a couple of real, special diamonds in the rough, if you will. But I'm all over the everyday cards, and selling them for some consistent income would be really nice. Did he really? Yeah. Was it a free ship? Was it 1,000 though? Yeah. I remember seeing it. He had a video about a pretty highly sold card. I don't remember the amount. 14 so is the biggest one. Laura, $365. Do you care to reveal what type of card it was? They all went to China and Hong Kong. Yeah, that's Maron, as they say in the old country. 3 sold over 100. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, 5 to 20 that's where I'm living right now. And thankfully, so far, I don't have many in the fives. Like, I think my lowest, I do have a couple of cards I priced at $4.99 early on that were just very mundane flowers, like we joke about, views of nothing, nowhere, with flowers in them. $5, but most of mine is selling like $8 or so, between $7 and $8 as the low, to up to like 12. So it's a smaller range, but it's the same kind of thing. Oh no. That's funny. Vintage Memories, have a great night. I'm going to be signing off momentarily too. Thanks for checking in. Family dinner, enjoy. Yeah, it's a bad kitty. Thank you very much for everybody for coming in tonight. It is Monday, right? Yeah, I'll have the elusive haul video out this week. I promise everybody. It will be out this week. And then Friday, especially for Kelly, we'll list some print ads. I'll load up. We'll have a bunch of them. So I'll have no excuse not to list them. Spring for a regular mattress. Yeah, really. No, she's because of the injury, Happy Fun Times. She's on a air mattress on purpose. Thank you, Leland. Absolutely. Great to have you. Thank you. Have a great night, everybody. I'll see you on Friday night we'll do a listing show Friday night, and look out for the video about this infamous haul of mine from March 23rd coming to you this week. Have a great week, and I'll see you on Friday. Good night, everybody. Thanks for coming in.